Okay, we're rolling. Okay, I'm gonna try a new setup. Hello, Water Walk. January, I think, maybe 26th. Should I take the hat off? I'm gonna show off my gray hair today. It's a nice sun. Anyway, we'll take the hat off, I suppose. We'll put it there, maybe. Hello, and good morning from Makeup Pond. Oh. Okay. Well, welcome. Hello. Water walks. January 26th, I believe it might be. And oh, there's things afoot in the water department here where I live. When I was coming up, one of my neighbors, kind of distant neighbors, I guess, that I always say hello to as I walk by, lived beside my friend Pisitam. She said, oh, in Thai, she said, they don't have drinking water right now. Because the water that I get goes all the way down through the section of the village that I'm part of, and she's in that village too. I might have to get new bottles soon. I don't know how good these last, but anyway, I've had this for like 3 years. Yeah, so she said, oh, my nam doom. I went, oh, okay, I wonder why that is. Now I think I know, having walked up here. But my Thai isn't good enough to have a discussion about the finer aspects of why she doesn't have any drinking water. Let's see if I can talk while I fill up. I have to be careful because I'm using the mic on the... Oh, a little crooked, never mind. Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah, so I can't really discuss all those finer details in Thai, right? It's just not good enough. That's fine. But I know enough to know that she ain't got it. So, what's the problem? So now, as I was coming up... Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about other things here. This is sort of actually bugging me. Let me see if I can adjust this. Hopefully not knock everything down. That would be unfortunate. How's that? Now it's freaking crooked the other way. I think I'm just being fussy because it's pretty fine. Can't be perfect. I think that will do. What do you think? Yeah, so anyway, I'll talk down the way down because I want to do show and tell of what it seems like they're doing. Anyway, but I was thinking about some stuff. Usually these water walks that I do I end up talking about environmental type things and ecology. Anyway, I've been thinking about, well, Greta Thunberg has been in the news because of Davos, and Prince Charles too. Prince Charles, actually, his talk was good. I've actually admired him for many, many decades, really. Because he's a person that I think loves nature and is devoted to conserving it. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate that. And, you know, you could say, oh, he has so much money. I mean, I don't know. They do, obviously, British royal family. But it's not like they have money in their pocket. Well, I mean, they do. I'm pretty sure Prince Charles has a bit more cash on hand than I do. But, nonetheless, this is a thing that's more about money, right? It has to be. And so anyway, I've admired his devotion and stuff. I'm not in line with it, but that sort of doesn't matter, right? Because we have to have all the perspectives being presented. And at his Davos speech he talked about basically like a sustainable economy. But in essence, a kind of growth economy. Like, you know, green growth, that kind of thing, which I essentially oppose, right? So the Green New Deal, the horror of some people that go, we need a green new industrial revolution. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. When that happens, you know you've lost the game, I think. Anyway, I appreciate what he's saying, but I don't personally agree that a growth paradigm will ever work, right? But that's my opinion and my perspective. And I come as just purely love of nature. And so I think it's kind of a little bit I don't want to say against nature, because I don't know, it's so complicated. Anyway, just saying, I'm not in line with how he's seen it, but I do appreciate his perspectives and his efforts to do stuff. I mean, I'm sure he's done more to help than I have in my... I post these on Facebook and sometimes get 100 views, or 150 even. But my YouTube views are like 5. So, I do my bit, but, you know, I'm more than happy to admit that it's a fairly small, but small is important contribution. Anyway, just saying that. So, and Greta Thunberg also talked to Davos. I like her. What's not to like, right? But it's for me. And I've said this a million times. It's more the spin around her and the hysteria. I don't agree with her. You know, I'm terrified and I want you to be too. Oh, I've said that a million times. So it's neither here nor there. But I do appreciate that she's really not into solutions, right? She's not trying to say we should do this, which is smart on her part and whoever's you know, helping her and giving it her advice and stuff. It'd be nice if she was clear about who's behind her, right? Who is in her team. That would be really smart to do, because people are starting to go, yeah, who's manipulating her? Is basically what a lot of people are saying. And it's like, well, once you're there, that there's unknowns, right? So if I was that bunch, I'd say, look, this is who's here, this is their perspectives, this is even, you could say, agenda. I'm not sure if agenda is the right word, but it could be used, you know. That I would do that. I would just be very clear, like, look, this is what we're doing, this is what we believe, right? Anyway, that aside. So, like, I remember John A. Livingston saying, I'm going to link his ideas, programs below. I've been listening to them again. Basically, she's into problem definition, right? And that's what John Livingston said. He says, you know, I'm really... What I'm doing is purely problem definition. Trying to establish what is going wrong, you know? And perhaps understanding that solutions is not the right word or even possible, and all that sort of thing. So, gotta clean out the jug. Yeah, so, anyway, so she's doing that, and I appreciate that, actually. But I did watch this video, and I put it on my Facebook page, with Bjorn Andreas Boll Hansen, I think is his full name. Please forgive me if I got that wrong. And he did a really nice talk about green fascism. A little, you know, 12, 15 minute video. And he's a lover of nature, you know. And what his observation was that, he's talking about the activist groups, like the hysteria around Greta, the Extinction Rebellion stuff, you know, all that kind of thing. And I've also thought the same thing. With all these people, like when you see all people protesting and like teenagers crying in the streets, oh, we're gonna die. Anyway, I'm like, oh, come on, get a grip, kids. Like, it's not gonna help. And also, I don't know, this is like a bias, right? So take it for what it is, right? But I just like look at them and I go, you don't give a shit about nature. Nothing. I don't see anything in that. There's exceptions. I'm willing, of course, there's people, many people devoted and moved by their love of nature, right? But I'm just saying on the whole, when I look at it, I'm just like, no, I don't think so. Sorry, but it's more or less what John Livingston, might as well reference him again. Great Canadian naturalist, died in 2005, sadly. He said the environmental movement is mostly made up of people that want to keep everything the same and still get away with it. More or less, that's what he said. Which I think is pretty much bang on true, right? I get it. They're terrified of losing their... People are... I mean, it's quite reasonable, I think, Terrified of losing what they have now. The comforts, basically, is what it is. I could just go spinning off in all kinds of directions from here. Like the 1% thing, right? That's an old story, but... It's like I always go, oh, Jesus Christ, you guys are like the 0.001%. Right? Compared to most humans now, and also most humans throughout the eons. You're so wealthy and rich, and anyway, whatever, right? Anyway, so I kind of hooked into Bjorn's talk, and I had a point that I wanted to make of a more general nature, and now I can't quite think of it. So I'm just doing the essential task of getting some drinking water. I always want to say, look, you need to walk a few kilometers to get your drinking water, and that will teach you something. I occasionally say it like I just did, but the problem is, I can't really do that, right? Because it's just preachy. I don't know. I suppose you could... Oh, look, the bottles are full. I could just talk and be not so noisy. Anyway, it's so easy to be dismissive or to be critical. Maybe for good reason, but I don't want this to be me preaching. It's my main goal in doing this is to try and present a thing of how beautiful nature is, and that's really it, Yeah, I don't know where else to go with it. Let's talk about the weather. We're in another cold snap. It's quite cold this morning. At 8:30 this morning, which is quite a bit warmer than at the coldest time, it was 10 degrees. And I think, because I woke up briefly, at that really cold time, 4 or 5, before the sun rises. Oh, I'd say it was probably down to 6, 7, maybe? Just for here, that's quite chilly, right? And keep in mind, no one has heat, right? In Canada, people would have had the heat on as soon as it hit 20. So people like to, oh, it's 20 below zero. It's like, yeah, but you don't live in it. It got heat. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. What else should I say? I guess on a personal level, I've been feeling just kind of washed of sadness. I mean, my life's great, and every day is beautiful, and all that. But at some sort of layer, there's this layer of sadness or melancholy, sort of laying, Anyway, that's just, I mean, there's always, I could say, oh, there's all this news and stuff. That never ends, right? The things that are destabilizing or levels of animal numbers decreasing, all that stuff, right? But it's more like, I find that I go through waves of dealing with it in different ways, we'll say. It's not that I can ever not deal with it. I do kind of step away from the social media thing a little, believe it or not, here and there, and then I'll sort of slip in again and make some opinion. Yeah. So that's the water all done. So, what's next? I'm gonna do a walking thing, walking video, and I want to show that what it looks like they're doing with the pipes. I'm gonna see if I can ask when I get back down that way. Ask if she knows when. I might have to look up the word when. It's not a word I use, right? Like, when will something happen? This is nothing, that's something I never use here. There's certain things, like, I can speak certain things, and it almost feels like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. I think to an outsider, maybe. Especially a non-Thai speaking outsider. But there's other things that I just don't ever use, right? Like, the days of the week. Wan Suk is Friday, because that's when I go to Kendo. I sort of know how to know how to say the time. It's just that, you know how we're art in the, say, the West, we mostly divide time up into two, right? AM, PM, you could say. The non-24 hour clock. Where here they divide it into 4. I haven't quite figured that out. At the same time, you can, just through context. Anyway, I don't really use time much, so that's why I don't know it. Because I live in the wilderness. I don't need time, don't need days. It's sort of true, right? It's a bit of a myth. It's a bit of a myth-building thing, but it is, there's a bit of truth in it. As you can see where I am. Anyway, so how many minutes are we at? Oh, 10. Oh no, is it 10 or 16? Anyway, yeah, so there's something else I wanted to say. Maybe I'll have to let this stop now, load up my pack, head down, talk about the water, and maybe the other thing will come to me, and I'll check in again. Okay, so look, I dug out this really nice hat. I just found it. It's good for keeping the bugs and whatnot out of the hair. And it's a little bit Gandalf-y, don't you think? Not the same color. I think this is grey. Gandalf's the grey. It has that sort of thing. But it's great in the sun, and there's no clouds these days. It's just clear, cool, soon it'll be hot as hell. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Ciao. Okay, blessed ritual done. Okay, here we go. Woo. Man, look at that. Yeah, I've been thinking, let's see if this is too dark. It's quite dark. Yeah, I should probably not do that. Okay, we'll just let it figure itself out on its own with the exposure and focus. Yeah, I've been thinking about, okay, so, see that pipe? That's coming from where I get my water. It's important. This is a beautiful time of year here. It's cool in the mornings, quite warm in the afternoon though, even up here. In the city it's in the low to mid 30s, I guess generally, at the moment. Here, well, anywhere between 20 and 25 I'd say. My place is a bit cooler, right, because it's in the shade and it doesn't get a lot of sun exposure. It's in a little hollow, so, you know, that's different. Fuck, man. Oh, done. Oh shoot, I was just thinking and started speaking out loud. Have to be careful about doing that on video. I'm like a crazy person. Soon? I don't know when, maybe, I guess in a month or so, a bunch of us will go up on the ridge, my favorite ridge, and sweep the kind of wide path that's there. They say it's a road, but it's not a road, as in that you can't drive on it because it's way up top, but yeah. So I always love doing that. It's a hard day though, you know, hard day sweeping all day, but love it, being part of things. It also means that I don't have to pay my water bill, or that's how it's been up to now. We'll see this year. So if you go and volunteer to sweep the fire trail, you don't have to pay the yearly water bill, right? Usually they just don't get it. And then last year, what they did is, I think it was Piece of Time's son came and gave me $300, 300 baht. I'm sorry, not $300, 300 baht just out of the blue. I went, oh, okay, thanks. And it's for sweeping. I went, okay. And then, you know, a few weeks later, the girl that collects the electrical money, bill money, she came for the water money. So basically, okay, this is gonna make pretty much every Canadian and probably every other person in the West cry. But the water bill for 1 year is 300 baht. It's in American money, it's like $10. Anyway, it's really, I think that the money is really just to help keep the infrastructure going, because it's all gravity fed, right? You'll see. I'm going to show you what they're doing here. So it's all gravity fed. It's pulled off little springs in the mountains and piles up in big tanks and then comes to the houses. But lately, there have been some issues with low flow and also no flow. Like yesterday, there was no flow for about 5 hours. And I think it's because there's been a lot of visitors staying over and so a lot of people taking showers and stuff. So I guess that the town, this is not something I'm ever privy to, right? So I don't know ever what's exactly going on, but I suspect they're going, oh, we got some problems because there's a lot of people using the water. Mostly showers, I imagine, but whatever, right? And so they've been up to things to try to improve that, and they've been doing that all along, right? I've been, because of the trail I walk on, I can see them adding tanks, and now there's less tanks where they had more tanks, but there's more tanks where they had less tanks. Oh God. It's the end of the world. But Si Chang, this is for you. But the crickets are still chirping. Well, that's a reference to Bill Hicks. And this was during the first Gulf War, I guess, and the AIDS crisis was in full bloom, and Bill Hicks was like saying, you know, I watch CNN and all I hear is AIDS, death, destruction, blah, 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 blah. AIDS, death, destruction, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, yeah, but then I just go out the door and look outside and it's all boop, 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 boop. That's great. Anyway, and then he linked it into Jane Fonda being married to Ted Turner, and anyway, the result is Ted Turner saying, if I'm not going to get any, no one's going to get any. I'll just leave it at that. You can interpret it whatever way you want. Anyway, so we're coming up to, look at this, 3 tanks where there was once none, and then that one collapsed, and blah. Great. So I'm not sure why they're doing it this way, but they are. I mean, they're really great at setting this up. So I'm sure they have really good reasoning for it. You know? From what I can see, really great. Yeah, so look at all these tanks. And they've dug this out, and they've moved the tanks right here. It's a little inconvenient for me, because with a heavy pack, I got bigger steps. And hopefully it won't collapse. Okay, so before, if you saw in my other videos, this area here was all collapsed, right? Because they had one of these tanks there. I'd say it was probably this one. It's dirty. And then it collapsed, full of water. And now, look, you can hear it. So the water's coming in, filling these tanks up. I have no idea why this tank has nothing going into it, but I have no clue what's going on with that, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, okay, so then this is new. See this pipe, and you see it's all wet too, so it's pretty recent they've been working on it. So then they've made this pipe, and this is thicker pipe than what the pipe they were using, right? Okay, so continuing on. So now this pipe here was like thin pipe, like the thin pipe up near where I get my water. You guys having fun? It's fun for me. It's like investigative journalism. Village style. Okay. So yeah, so bigger pipe means more water, right? I suppose there's a point where there's no point, because at some point it can only have so much water come down, right? But anyway, this size makes sense. Now what's curious is, this feels... See how this pipe's going down? This feels different. Let's see if I can figure out. See, so now that big pipe's going down there, right? Whereas before the pipes went out to this concrete cistern thing. And this is all taken apart. Oh, there's still water flowing out onto that one. I just don't know. Anyway, it'll become clear over the next few weeks, probably, as I work on it. But the main thing I'm happy about, on a very personal level, is they didn't screw up the spring up there. I was walking up and going, uh-oh, maybe they've just messed things up there. En route to making things work differently. But no, it's all the same. That's good for now anyway. That's good. I like that. Oh! And now, they just... That bamboo wasn't there when I came, I don't think. Was it there? I don't think so. Anyway, well, I don't know, I wouldn't want to walk on it. Yeah, it's pretty slippery, eh? So there's water flowing out. For better, for worse. Careful. For me, I definitely do not want to slip with this big pack on my back. I'll wrench my back up. So now, okay, so now what they've been doing. Yeah. Okay, so now this is coming out of here, and down here. Right? See how it goes all the way down? That's different. Before it all went straight this way. But here, what the hell? So now they've got this more big pipe that's just lying there. So, I don't know, my thinking is they're going to connect it, but why wouldn't they connect it already? Anyway. Questions. So there's a lot of pipes. There's this pipe, and this is bent, but it looks more or less like it's just sitting there. Yep. So it's just sitting there. So there's this pipe. Obviously, they're up to something, because this is all old pipe, but they're laying it out, and they're going to do something. I imagine that this pipe, if they need more than that, which I'm sure they know, is going to go scoot along here. This is my favorite part of the walk, because it opens up. Look at that sky. Oh, not a cloud in the air, and it's clear up here. But I don't know if you can see it on the edge of the trees there. You can sort of see the pollution a bit from Chiang Mai. It's not too bad right now, but we'll see how this year's smoky season goes. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to continue here with the phone walking, and I'll switch over to the tablet selfie mode. We'll see. Actually, I'll switch over right now. Hang on a second. Where are we? Oh, the camera's right here. Wait a minute. I have to look here. I look here at where... Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's just see if we can do this with this. Okay, so, yeah, that's that. So I'm going to have a look and see what's going on, see if I can figure it out. And, oh, you know, I see new pipe down below me here. Down that steep hill. Something's going on. Oh shoot, just dropped my hat. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. What are we doing here? Jeez, I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so, that's that, and, hopes everyone's doing well. I'm gonna switch over to my phone camera to show you what they've changed at the other end. And yeah. Anyway, this the usual rambling kind of videos. Hope there's something of interest. I am interested in how people are seeing the environmental, ecological movement, or whatever you want to call it, at the moment, right? So if anyone has any thoughts, I know most people are think the Green New Deal is the greatest thing ever. If I'm not buying it, you can't fool me. I think I should put the hat on. Should I put the hat on? Can't fool me. Well, you can, but maybe not in that. Okay, so how's that? Okay, so signing off. Hope everyone's doing great. And ciao. I keep looking here. I'm looking at. I have to look here. Oh, this big thing is a bit of a problem. Anyway, hope everyone's doing great. And à la prochaine, and talk to you soon. Okay, ciao. I have to look to turn it off. Back to the phone. Okay, so here we go. That was weird, that last bit. Sorry about that. I was using the tablet because, well, it's easy to set up, but also because I can do it at a higher bit rate when I face it to me, whereas my phone drops it down. I might just screw it. I might just do 720. Who cares? I'm pretty sure most people aren't watching my little water walk videos on like giant screens that need super HD. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, we're walking down. I'll show you where the tanks were, or are, or may be. I should bring the broom up because it's a little bit slippy with the leaves. Might have to do a broom walk up on the next trip. Basically, I bring my broom and sweep the trail, even though the leaves haven't stopped falling completely yet. They fall as the dry and hot season comes. Kind of the opposite of Canada, where the leaves fall in the cold and it's not wet, it's not dry. It's snow. Now that's how we do it here. That's how Mother Nature deals with things. But up here, certainly there's some trees drop their leaves, but not that many. It's always very green up here. But right now, even if you go down to the flatlands, like where Chiang Mai, and even lower, it's all the teak leaves have dropped or are dropping, and more trees drop the leaves too. So this gets hotter down there, I guess, and up here keeps the moisture longer, I would say. I like, but it's also a bit of a bane of my existence. Anyway, we're coming up to this tank location. Right, so, see this? See? There were tanks here, and now there's really none. There's that one, but it doesn't look like it's filling up, and there's a whole bunch of pipe laying around. Probably doing nothing. Anyway, I'll report on the water situation another time. Okay, so that's it. I hope everyone's doing great. Talk to you soon.